Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Holly and I love to help people heal from past traumas. So in today's video, I want to share with you guys how I have been able to move past my traumatic upbringing. Anyone who may have been traumatized in their early childhood, or maybe you're just struggling in your life and you're not sure why. The first thing that I want to discuss today is the fact that pretty much everyone that's walking around today has some form of trauma. Even if they're unaware of it, everyone has traumas to some degree. Of course, trauma is going to affect every person differently. So to get started, if you are someone who's had a lot of trauma and abuse in your past, you have to recognize that you're not going to just be able to go from being so traumatized and hurt to boom, everything's fixed and everything's better. So I'm going to give you guys a step-by-step process that I personally used that has helped me. Step number one is acknowledging your pain and being able to be present with yourself, specifically doing inner child work. For me personally, a lot of my traumas happened between the age of 1 and about 12 and 13 years old. So what I had to do was I had to go back within my psyche and sit with myself and be like, okay, I know that a lot of these memories are going to resurface. I understand that a lot of the feelings are going to resurface, and I need to be present with that little girl because she needs to feel seen, heard, and understood. Because if we try to skip past this step, you're not going to heal and integrate the traumas in your life. Now that you have acknowledged that you do have trauma or you've gone through abuse, and the way to heal it is going through instead of avoiding it, because if you avoid it, it's going to come up later in life. So you may as well sit with it and integrate it now. I will mention this though, not everyone should do this on their own. Sometimes it is very helpful to get someone like a counselor or a loved one or a therapist to be there with you when you process through this stuff, because I can say firsthand, a lot of the things that I had to relive were very intense, and it does help to have support in your life. This is one thing that really helped me be able to be more present with myself and not identify so much with the pain and trauma, is to recognize that I am Holly, here, 24 years old, I'm sitting on a couch, everything is okay around me, my life is not being threatened. So once I can create a safe space around me and recognize in this present moment I am safe, I can then go from there to allowing myself to feel through those emotions and be present with that little boy or that little girl, understanding that right now I'm okay and right now I'm safe. So basically what I do is I get to be the parent for that younger version of myself, knowing that I'm okay right now, imagining that I am the parent for that little girl or that little boy. I now get to go back and feel through those emotions. Yes, it's going to come up in my body, but my consciousness is going to be able to reparent that child. So I will give you an example of what this will look like. For me personally, I had a lot of anger and rage come up. And anger and rage most of the time is a cover emotion for sadness and grief. And so once those feelings of anger and rage came up, I would talk myself through it. Okay, Holly, you're allowed to feel angry, you're allowed to feel rage. And once that you validate your inner child, oftentimes it then will turn to tears. This is a great thing because once you start to cry, you actually get to release it. So allow yourself to feel sad. Validate your inner child. Validate that little boy, that little girl that just wanted to be seen and just wanted to be understood and loved. You're healing that by being present with your inner child. So these things have definitely helped me a whole lot in terms of healing from the past. So understand that this is not going to be something that necessarily changes overnight, but have compassion for yourself. Remember that now in the present moment, you get to be the parent for that little girl or that little boy that went through those traumas, that you get to feel through that, validate your feelings, allow yourself to cry, allow yourself to feel your feelings, and you will notice that it passes right through. So the second step to this is going to be asking yourself, how did those things in my past work for me? How did those things happen for me? And I know for a lot of people, if they haven't processed through step one, this is going to sound absolutely bonkers. They're going to be like, why would you ever say something so traumatic like abuse or trauma could have ever happened for me? Well, this is a good sign that you have not fully processed and gone through step number 1. So if you feel triggered by the question that I just asked, go back to step 1, because it means that you still have more integration and more things to feel through. Once you get to this stage, you're going to be able to ask yourself, how did these things happen for me? This is going to open up a whole new world for you, a whole new perspective, because now what you're doing is you're taking your past, you're taking your pain, your abuse, and your trauma, and you're turning it into power. You're turning it into wisdom. You're turning it into purpose. So now you get to take all of those experiences that you've went through and say, okay, well, if I am the creator of my reality and I'm the creator of my life, why would I have chosen to go through those experiences? What is it that I wanted to learn from those things? What did that teach me about myself and about life? And this has been really transformational for me, because I feel like through my past experiences, the pain that I went through, the suffering that I went through, that actually pushed me into my purpose. So what I'm able to do now that I have integrated step 1 and I have moved to step 2 and I have asked myself these powerful questions, it has pushed me into being of service to other people. And I realize now I can help other people through their pain and through their trauma, because I was able to be brave and do that within myself first. There's always a purpose for everything that we go through, and nothing is wasted. And this is going to help you in so many ways. It's going to build your self-esteem. It's going to build your self-confidence. You're going to step into a whole new place of power within yourself. This is what's going to allow you to take your power back, is when you remember that you are the creator of your life. But you cannot say and know, I am the creator of my life, and actually believe that if you haven't processed through the traumatic past, if you haven't processed through your abuse, because you're still living in a victim mentality and you're still living in a victim place. So once you move past that, you process through that grief, you can move to the next step, which is understanding, okay, maybe these things are working out for me. And once you get past stage 2, you can actually step into the next phase of life, which is asking, how can I be of service? How can I help other people through maybe the things that I've gone through? Or now that I have released all of this pain and baggage and hurt from my past, how do I want to show up differently in my life? You may even notice that your personality completely changes. You may notice that the things that you were drawn to before are completely different. Your hobbies might look different. The people in your life are going to change, because you have completely upgraded who you are. So don't be surprised if your entire reality changes. And I'm just going to give you a forewarning here. This is a positive thing, so don't worry about it. But understand that change is often uncomfortable, even when it is a positive thing. When you change your internal self, your external world is going to reflect that. So this is quite beautiful. It's just like you're going from a caterpillar to a butterfly. It's a beautiful transformation, but understand that now that you've moved past all of those things and you've gone from victim to realizing your power and being able to now step into service, you're going to recognize you get to create a beautiful life for yourself. This is where you get to now experiment and explore new avenues in terms of your creativity, new friendships, and building a whole new life for yourself. And you're going to know yourself at a much deeper level, because you've been able to process and release all of those heavy things. So those are things that have really helped me be able to move past the hurt, the pain, and the trauma. And I know that there are so many people out there who are going through this stuff. And if you are someone watching this video who is a cycle breaker, or you are someone who is healing family patterns, I applaud you, because I know that it's not an easy task. It takes a very courageous and brave soul to go through this type of stuff and be willing to make the world a better place by alchemizing and transmuting trauma. I hope this video helped you guys out in so many ways, and comment below if you'd like to see content like this from me. Like the video, it definitely supports my channel. My goal right now is to hit 1,000, and I'm almost there, so I appreciate you guys so much for supporting my journey, and I will see you guys in next week's video. Bye.